All right, welcome to another Peter on Tour Explainer. Today, we're going deep, and I mean deep, underground to check out one of Poland's absolute greatest treasures, the Wieliczka Salt Mine. Let's dive into this incredible subterranean world. You know, there are some places where words just fail you. When you try to describe Wieliczka, you almost have to reach for fantasy, for things from novels, because the reality itself feels too magical. This quote here, inspired by Tolkien's Dwarven Halls, is about as close as you can get to capturing it. I mean, just look at this. This is St. Kinga's chapel, and it really gets to the heart of the challenge, doesn't it? How on earth do you even begin to describe a cathedral carved entirely from salt, hundreds of feet below the ground? It's just mind-boggling. So to even try and wrap our heads around it, we've got to start with the history, because this is so much more than just a beautiful cavern. Oh no, this place was a royal treasure that eventually became a World Heritage Site. The scale of time here is just staggering. Seriously, think about it. This mine was running continuously from the Middle Ages all the way up until 1996. It's seen famous visitors like Copernicus, it's been declared a global treasure by UNESCO, it's transitioned from this powerhouse of industry to a protected monument for all of us. And get this, it wasn't just some late addition to the UNESCO list. When they created the very first list of World Heritage Sites back in 1978, Wieliczka was on it, right there from the beginning, alongside giants like Yellowstone and the Galapagos Islands. That's how important this place is to our shared human story. But the history and the industry, that's really only half the story. To really understand Wieliczka, you have to connect with its soul. And that soul, well, it's found in the legends passed down through generations and in the incredible art carved by the miners themselves. And it all kicks off with this beautiful legend. So you've got Princess Kinga of Hungary who's about to marry a Polish prince. She doesn't ask for gold or jewels, she asks for salt. She throws her engagement ring into a Hungarian salt mine, and then, when she gets to Poland, that very same ring is discovered in the first lump of salt pulled from the ground at Wieliczka. She would go on to become Saint Kinga, the patron saint of salt miners. And this contrast right here is everything. On the one hand, you have the grueling, tough reality of mining, the heavy machinery, the back-breaking labor in the dark. But then you have this, just sublime, delicate artistry. Chandeliers made from pure salt crystals, chapels carved out of pure devotion. It's this incredible intersection of intense work and profound faith. And that salt was unbelievably valuable. We're talking white gold. The money from this single mine made up about a third of the entire royal income. It was used by kings like Casimir the Great to completely transform Poland. You know, they say he found a Poland made of wood and left it made of stone. Well, a lot of that was paid for with salt. But the ultimate expression of all that faith and artistry is this, St. Kinga's Chapel. This isn't just a room, it's an entire church carved over decades by just 3 miners. And they were self-taught. Everything you see, the altar, the detailed carving of the Last Supper, even the crystals in the chandeliers, is all salt. Okay, so by now you're probably thinking, I have to see this place, and you're absolutely right. So let's switch gears and get practical. What's it actually like to visit? Let's walk through what your own journey underground will look like. So the main tourist route is a really well-organized experience. You'll go down about 135 meters, that's 450 feet. Then you'll walk about 3.5 kilometers through the most amazing passages and chambers, see all the history and art up close, and then a miner's lift whisks you back to the surface. It's a proper expedition. First practical tip, and this is a big one. The temperature down there never changes. It is always a cool 17 degrees Celsius or about 63 Fahrenheit. So it doesn't matter if it's a blazing hot day on the surface, you need to bring a sweater or a light jacket. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Okay, let's talk about the steps. There are about 800 of them. Now, before you panic, almost all of them are right at the beginning, on the way down. And I know 800 sounds like a lot, but please don't let that number put you off. There are elevator options that can cut a huge amount of that walking out. Just make sure you ask about it when you're booking your tour. Now for the other big question I always get, what about claustrophobia? And look, it's a fair concern. You're going deep into a mine after all. But here's the reality for pretty much everyone who visits. The spaces are surprisingly huge. The ceilings in the big chambers are incredibly high, the hallways are well lit, and there are these massive open rooms. Plus, there's a constant, gentle airflow. Most people who have mild claustrophobia tell me they are totally fine because it just doesn't feel cramped. And hey, if you need a little more encouragement, let me tell you about Frank Albert. I had the absolute pleasure of taking him on a tour when he was 99 years old. He did every step and loved every single minute. The mine even sent him a certificate as their oldest ever visitor. If Frank could do it, you can too. So we've gone through the history, the art, the practical tips, but why does this place leave such a huge impression on everyone who visits? What's the real magic here? I think it's because when you're down there, maybe looking across a silent underground lake, you realize you're not just in an old industrial site. You are standing inside a testament to centuries of faith, of hard work, of perseverance. It truly is a cathedral, built to honor human ingenuity itself. And that brings us right back where we started. I can show you all these pictures, I can tell you all the stories, but at the end of the day, no description can ever replace the feeling of actually being there. It's one of those rare places that you simply have to experience for yourself. So, ready to descend into this underground wonderland? For the complete Pieter on Tour itinerary, all my personal tips, and the direct links to book your tour, just head over to peterontour.com. Your journey into the heart of the earth is waiting.